What's happening, YouTube? I'm Transient and we're playing Watcher of Realms. So the update has come in, and as you can see, Malric is there. But the purpose of this video was not to go through that at the moment. It's actually to have a look at the information that they've been drip feeding us regarding the Tacticians. So now yesterday they had a different preview which had a brief look at what skills or what things they bring, or which each of these heroes. Now what they've done, they've released a trailer which has given us a brief glimpse as to what each of them does. So I just thought we could just have a look at the trailer and just, I don't know, see if it can or if we can glean some more information about each of these heroes. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the trailer and then we can just discuss it as we go along. So yeah, I'll play it now. Okay, so this is a trailer. So they go, oh, our tacticians. We've got Moradin, who is Nightmare, and Esotericis, Azrael, or Estrael, who is Nightmare and Thingy. Okay, let's have the first look. So the first one is a trailer for Moradin. Now, from what I can see, he's obviously doing that charge attack. That's what it looks like. And then he displaces, moves across one, and then starts his attacks. Now, what I was curious about initially was if he was able to displace a physical hero. Initially, when I saw that video, I thought perhaps he was displacing Wukong himself, but no, it looks like he's just displacing. Oh, that's interesting. If you look at the timing, let's go back. I don't know if. Right. So, okay, Wukong's shadow is there. Okay. Initially, I thought that his displacement just moved the other shadow that was across, but no, that shadow I think disappeared, and Moradin moved into his place, or Moradin moved into his place and therefore removing him. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now this one's an interesting one. Now, in terms of, we now know that she is the hero who has the what did they say? The flexible movement. Now, if we look at her, let's move this a bit forward. If we look, right, if we look, let's slow this down a bit. As we can see, we'll see now there, that it's a new type of range. I don't think there's any other hero in the game who has range like that. And obviously, because she's a winged horse, she can obviously be on platforms and on the ground. But yeah, and obviously her attack range is 3, but obviously her movement range when it comes to doing her ultimate is quite, I think that's probably the biggest in the game. I think. I'm not sure. Let's hold on, let's look at that. It is 4 up, 4 across in terms of the 4, 1, the 3, the 4. No, I think it's for 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. At its peak, it's 4 spaces, but then there's a smaller square within that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And then obviously we've got Astrael here, and he moves. He's got a attack range. If we slow this down and go back, so okay, right. He's got an attack range of 2. And obviously that's him doing his shield mechanic and so on, which helps out Brooke here at this time. But yeah, so I'm not sure, because he's obviously a that's interesting. Because he's obviously a non-platform hero, his movement will obviously be limited to obviously non-platform spaces. Now, what would be an interesting thing to find out is in maps where there isn't a direct movement, a direct movement position like in here. So would you be able to, for example, for want of another word, jump across to get to a different spot, or do you have to have direct line of sight as it looks like in here? It seems, I don't know, but we will find out when we actually get the test in. But in terms of movement, Valara's is absolutely insane. She can literally, look at all that. That is a huge range, and if she can move to anywhere within that space, that is a huge amount of space. But yes, I think my biggest question is to find out whether Moradin and Azrael can only move in, for want of a better term, line of sight. But yeah, those are the apps in the animations. In-game animations look really, really cool. And Azrael is obviously going to be free. Oh yeah, so as you can see, when he shields Brooke is shielded and he's shielded. When Azrael does hers, she goes invisible. So she starts off invisible. Let's have a look. She starts off invisible, does her ultimate, picks her spot, becomes visible, flies down, and unleashes. Now, what will be interesting to know is if once she's done her ultimate, can she return to invisibility, or is the invisibility purely only on deployment, and once it's been lost, it can no longer be attained? Going back to Moradin, as you can see, he is... Oh, okay. So he starts off at the bottom, and he moves himself to the top left to do his charging up, and then he moves again to do his ultimate. Okay, that's very cool. Okay, and he's our limited hero, and obviously Valara starts off invisible, picks her spot, and then comes in, rains lightning down. And finally, Azrael, he's over here, sees Brooke in trouble, picks his spot, and backs him up with some shields. Alright. Yeah, that looks very cool. I'm definitely interested to see. They can obviously do more. This is clearly just a brief glimpse, but it's a very nice glimpse, and I'm very interested to see what the guys who have the test servers, what they can figure out with these heroes once they get a look at them. Yeah, I just wanted to have a look at that because I do not have access to this test server, so all I can do is analyze that little video and come to any conclusions from what I can see. But they do look very powerful. I mean, I believe that amount of range for Valara in terms of movement is ridiculous. Now, actually, something to consider. She does not seem like a hero that can be used in GVG. To be honest, I think only Azrael could be used in GVG. The reason I only said it because he can attack and he can support. The other two require active movement, active participation in order to move them around in order to get the best effect. Whereas in GVG, your heroes are obviously running on auto and are just putting out their ultimates whenever demon soldiers come within range. So I actually think Azrael just looking at that, Astral seems to be the only one who could probably be using GVG. The other two look more towards PvE. Also in arena, if for example, you're doing what's it called? Let's say AoE arena. Let's say you could use it in AoE. If, for example, they broke through your defenses, you could do an ultimate, move her into position where she could then clean up something that's been missed, and then you could move her back once that's been finished. Ooh, it's very exciting. All the different options. I mean, this is just a brief glimpse of what we haven't even really had real time to play with them. It's going to completely change the game in terms of how it's played, and they are going to be absolutely fundamental. If anyone's got summons, you got to make sure you get at least Moradin, and Astral obviously was free, but Valara, her movement range looks absolutely ridiculous, and yeah, very interesting. Just look at that. Let's do that again. Just look at this range. That is crazy. You can go anywhere. If you think about it, in any map, there's not going to be anything that's going to be... You can literally go anywhere on the map and rain down lightning. She looks crazy. Ooh, I'm excited. Okay, that's very good. I've got to say, guys, just looking at those new heroes, even though it's literally just a snippet of what they're probably fully capable of, they look amazing. Astral looks, like I said before, probably the best one for GVG. Then Moradin is probably playable pretty much any boss level. I think I would assume boss levels and maybe a few other places, but in terms of the one who can probably be used anywhere other than GVG, Valara. That's just, I'm just in my mind at the moment, purely because of that movement range, and she can clean up anywhere. Anytime there's a problem, just move her across. She does damage, and then you can move it back out of the way if necessary. But yeah, that's very cool, and I'm very excited for where this game is going. Yeah, so now what I'm gonna do now is just maybe have a look at the Morric's Hall of Illusions, but I'll do that separately. Alright guys, I would love to hear your opinions on the Tacticians. Any of you guys excited? Do you guys think they look good? Which one do you think is your favorite, and do any of you think you're going to be able to get Valara and Moradin? Anyway, I'd be interested to know. Feel free to put a comment in the comments below, and yeah, I'll leave it at that. Whatever you do, do it well. I'm Transient.